services that we have available that will enable you to get a part-time job. That will be followed by one of my colleagues, the Chief Executive, who will talk about visas and restrictions in terms of working in the UK. So listen very carefully to all the information, but particularly that. Then we will have two of our current students who have part-time jobs. They were sat where you were in January and September last year. They will talk about their experience, what they did to find a part-time job. And the last part of our session will be questions from you to us. So think of some questions related to this topic, finding a part-time job, and one of us will hopefully be able to give you an answer or point you in the right direction. So that's the outline for the next hour or so. Please enjoy and listen carefully and think of any questions. Over to my colleague, Nick, who will go through the slides first of all.
Thank you. Just checking these speakers work. Can you guys at the back hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up as a yes. Right, brilliant. I'm going to take that as a yes. So, first of all, I'll just quickly introduce myself. So, my name's Nick Hill, and I'm an employability advisor here at Sheffield Hallam University. What we'll go through today is really outlining the service that we offer, and then outline my role as an employability advisor, of how we can help you obtaining part-time work.
Use the
guys,
mic.
Is that better if I use that? Is that better? Right, I'll carry on using this. So, as we move on, what we'll cover today, what does the Careers and Employability Service offer? Okay. How can you access the resources that we offer? We offer an appointment system where you can book appointments with advisors, so I'll outline how you can go through and book those appointments, where you can look for finding part-time work, and then obviously other colleagues will outline the sort of restrictions around that. And then finally, signposting you guys to some of the Student Futures programmes that we offer here at the university. They're external programmes that run alongside your course that will also sort of benefit your employability prospects. Okay. So, as employability advisors, we're all assigned to curriculum areas and different courses. Okay. So, for your course, you will be assigned an employability advisor that can obviously advertise part-time jobs, part-time work opportunities, as well as graduate prospects and work placements and so on. And we are all based in Careers Connect. So I appreciate that you're just getting used to the campus, the university campus itself, but as you can see from the image on the screen, Careers Connect is in Owen Building, well, just to the left of Owen Building. So as you're in Hallam Square, just as you're about to enter the Owen Building, to your left-hand side, that's a Careers Connect. So if you were to book a one-on-one appointment with an advisor and it was to be face-to-face, that's where you'll find us based in Careers Connect. The second image on the screen is heart of campus at our collegiate campus. We also offer appointments there. However, I appreciate most of your courses may be at City campus, so Careers Connect is the building that you really need to know if you're thinking employability. We have lots of resources. We have a reception area there, so if you're interested in any leaflets, handouts, anything like that, or you just want to ask a question to an employability advisor, just pop into Careers Connect and we're all more than welcome to, more than happy, to help you out. So in terms of what we can help you with, as I lightly touched on earlier, we help you put CVs and application forms together to send to UK employers. Understand how UK employers recruit, so the way in which the UK recruitment cycle works may be in some ways very different to what you're perhaps used to before. So we can coach you through that process and outline each of the different steps as part of the UK recruitment process. We can outline where to look for part-time and graduate jobs. So for part-time work, we're obviously going to signpost some of the materials that you'll be used to, what you'll need to use this afternoon. As part of the careers offer, we run annual fairs. So we have careers fairs that run in the autumn and in the spring. And luckily for you guys, we do have an autumn careers fair coming up soon, which I'll signpost at the end, but that's another opportunity for you guys to network and speak with employers and see which employers are recruiting. So yeah, stay informed about careers events, as we've just touched on. We offer guidance consultations, so I'll go into more detail in the coming slides, but as well as the one-on-one careers appointments, we also offer guidance appointments, which are a little bit more detailed for those of you that might be struggling in terms of a career path. And then any areas of developing employability is what we can help with. And the point at the bottom there, so we do offer a lifetime support after graduation. So that means that when you graduate from Sheffield Hallam and you do feel like you might need that tailored support in terms of your job hunt or anything like that, as a graduate you do have access to the Hallam Careers and Employability offer for a lifetime after graduating. Just as a little bit of a case study to that, I myself, I'm a SHU graduate. A couple of years after I graduated from university, I was sometimes struggling a little bit of the career path I wanted to follow. I got back in touch with the career service. I was speaking with an advisor, and then I was able to find a career that I'm quite passionate about. So that lifetime offer is really important and really valuable. So we do have our own dedicated website. So with the obviously the SHU website, we have our own tailored support, which you'll be able to access loads of online resources through there. So the website is dead simple. It's just shu.ac.uk/careers. And then that's just a little bit of an example of what you'll find on the website. If you did want to book to see an advisor and you're told to book that online, you would just head to this website and then follow the following link at the bottom there in the pink box where it says see an advisor. I'm not sure how well that transfers to the back of the room, whether it's quite blurry, but I'm sure the slides can possibly be circulated if you need to access that link. So as I just touched on the website there's lots of online resources, so you'll have your own specific resources for international students by following the international link on the page there. But also, if you do feel like you want some online careers resources, perhaps before going to see an advisor you might think to yourself, I'll see if I can check out any resources beforehand just to give me a head start. If you head to the Careers 360 page, that's also through the screenshot of the last web page that I showed you. Lots of career supporting resources on there, things like how to build a CV. We offer things like interview simulation practice, loads of different resources that I would really encourage you to access when you're at the point of looking for, like say, part-time work or anything like that. So we offer workshops, online webinars and events and fairs. So as I touched on about the careers fair, we offer, we run two big biannual careers fairs, one in the autumn, one in the spring. But as well as that, each department area often run their own careers fairs as well. So speaking for my curriculum area, I work within the finance, accounting and business systems area. We're actually running our careers fair, our internal careers fair for our students on the 9th of October, so that's quite soon. Really important that you're aware of these events that are coming up, and also to be checking the online webinars on Handshake. So as well as the actual face-to-face on-campus fairs, we also offer sort of weekly webinars with large UK-based firms. We often work in conjunction with them, and they will do weekly webinars about how to put together application forms. So you're hearing obviously through us as the careers service, but also externally through different employers to see what specifically they're looking for. Where you'll find that information is through Handshake. So I'll go through in a second how to access Handshake. You may have already seen it being advertised outside in the atrium, but really important that you are signed up to that. So I appreciate we've jumped a little bit here, but just to go back to the appointments, advice appointments are for 20 minutes. Okay, they're bookable on the day and they can range in what we can help you with. So that can be your job search, help putting together a CV and a cover letter, because like I said, it may be quite different to what you're used to for a UK-based CV. We can coach you through the job application process, so it's not just a one-size-fits-all recruitment process really. Certain jobs may ask you to complete a CV and a cover letter, other jobs might ask you to complete an application form, so if there's any confusion along the way from your part, we always encourage you to book in for a one-on-one appointment with advisors such as myself. We can go through improving certain skills, so on the screen there it's interview and presentation skills, but any sort of skills that you feel like you may be lacking and you want to develop, if that's within the employability remit, please book in for an appointment as well and we can go through that. Succeeding in psychometric tests and assessment centre preparation. So again, this may be something that you're not too aware of, psychometric tests and assessment centres, as UK-based employers, and particularly the big employers within the UK, they use assessment centres quite heavily as a way of streamlining the application process. And again, we offer support with that. And just to hark back to the online resources, on the Careers 360 pathway, we have tons of resources for helping you prepare for psychometric tests and assessment centres. So if you do get through to an interview, or sorry, you do get invited to an assessment centre, we have resources online to help you be able to practice that. So obviously, practice can make perfect, and it just gives you that extra confidence boost in going through to meeting with the employer. As well as these short advice appointments, we also offer careers guidance appointments. So we also have senior employability advisors within our team who offer the longer appointments. So if you're unsure in your career path, many of us do. We do have change of heart in what we might wish to go and do after our degree, or if you're unhappy with your degree or your course, booking for a guidance appointment. Again, very slightly different to the advice appointments. However, it's just that extended advice where you can chat a little bit longer with an advisor just to see if you're on the right pathway, and if not, put a plan together for that. Just for the benefit of everyone else in the room, if we can just keep chat to a minimum, guys, that'd be great, thank you. If you want anything after further study, so how to progress, any tailored qualifications that you might need to take afterwards, that's also what the guidance appointments can help with. So a very wide range of tailored support that's an offer to you, and I would encourage you to make the most of it, not just for graduating, but also for your part-time job search. So, I'm aware you'll be keen on this part of the presentation. It's finding a part-time job. Part-time jobs are something as advisors we absolutely encourage. They provide you with the soft transferable skills that complement the technical skills that you learn in your degree and that you'll develop in your degree. If that is complemented with a part-time job, that's absolutely brilliant, and it puts you in a really good fit for going on to graduate roles. So we often have advertised jobs and hidden jobs. Hidden jobs are just the jobs that you may not see online, advertised through various different agencies. And we'll go through the hidden job market in a second. Part-time jobs, we offer jobs on and off campus. The on-campus jobs obviously offered by Sheffield Hallam University, but there are external jobs that are available to you. Obviously, as you get to know Sheffield, get to know the city a bit more, you'll be aware of obviously all the different areas, the retail, the hospitality environments that operate in Sheffield, that you can do part-time work in. So the best advice for that is start off by perfecting your CV, and always be aware of fake job adverts. So again, if there's anything circulated online that you feel like maybe you're not 100% confident in, it may be fake, it may not be. Again, if you're unsure, book in with an advisor to see if we can provide more clarity on that. So, just to touch lightly on the national insurance number. So you can start work without this, but you must obtain one when you get a job. This is on. Hello? If I speak through the microphone, is that a little bit better for you guys? Yeah. Guys, if we just appreciate there might be questions that you've got and something you might want to ask the person next to you immediately, but if we just keep chatting to a minimum, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay. Still waiting for people to quieten down a little bit. So, national insurance, I'll start again with this point. You can start work without it, but you must obtain one as soon as you get a job. So you can apply online, and again, the link will be provided after the presentation. But also, there is a number on the screen there that if you do need to call them, that's absolutely fine by using the link on the number provided on the screen. So you need a passport, a visa, or any of the other things on the screen there. And key thing to remember that they are free, so you do not need to pay for one. And again, the link on the screen will provide you a lot more detail about your national insurance number, maybe a bit more than we can offer at this point. So I touched on-campus jobs. So some of the on-campus roles have been advertised in the past, so these are just examples of what's been advertised in the past. Student placement ambassador roles, as well as accommodation assistants, course open days. We have a lot of open days coming up, both before Christmas and after Christmas. So we always try and get students involved with those, so there's opportunities to gain part-time work through that. But when I mentioned Handshake in a second, if you just search on Handshake, SHU campus jobs, you'll be able to see that there's a lot of jobs available on there at the moment. And again, I'll not talk through every single job role on here, but there's that opportunity to go through it and search that on Handshake. So as I mentioned, you may not have had the chance to look at all of the part-time jobs on offer in Sheffield at the moment, but we are quite a big city with lots of retail, hospitality opportunities available. There's also things to consider such as warehouse work, care assistant, support worker roles. We have quite a big sporting presence in Sheffield, so we have two major football teams as well as the arena, many different environments where you can obtain part-time work, so I'd encourage you to look at those as well. And we mentioned about the hidden job market, and again, this may be something that is not transferable to, is maybe something that you're not aware of at the moment, but around 75% of jobs are through the hidden job market. This is sometimes what we call a speculative application to obtain these roles. And again, a speculative application, if you're not aware, which I'm sure some of you will be, some of you may not be, but a speculative application is just where you send an email to a particular company that you may be interested in. I'll not go into too much detail now, but if you are interested in speculative applications or anything like that, book an appointment with your advisor and we can go through that, or grab me at the end if you've got any particular questions about speculative applications. Sorry guys, I'm aware that the mic just keeps dipping in and out, and I'm trying to hold it as close to my mouth as I can, but if we can just listen, that'd be great. So, you may have seen through various people you've spoken to today, I know some of the employability guys outside have done a push for Handshake. I'll just give you a second as you scan the barcode. But Handshake is the job where we advertise a lot of jobs, a lot of placements, a lot of graduate roles. So this is where you can apply for part-time jobs. We always encourage you to complete your Handshake profile. By completing your Handshake profile, that allows employers to come to you, as well as you going to them and meeting them directly there. So, as you scan the barcodes, completing your profile may take 10-15 minutes, so you may not be able to fully complete your profile there, but it's something that you may be able to get started on after the presentation. Okay, when I talked about earlier in the presentation, when I talked about lots of the free events, the webinars, employer events, they will also be advertised through Handshake as well. So furthermore on Handshake, I mentioned the Autumn Careers Fair. So the Autumn Careers Fair this year is on Thursday the 19th of October between 10 and 3 p.m. Well, that's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for any confusion there. Again, register through Handshake, but there'll be lots of employers on campus. All will be interested in taking on part-time jobs, as well as placement opportunities and graduate opportunities. So another slide I think you will be interested in, and again I can see phones out coming out to capture this straight away, but as well as Handshake, there are also obviously many other external providers that you'll find jobs advertised through. Websites such as Indeed, obviously they cover all sectors in all regions, so you'll find thousands of jobs advertised on there. If we're looking at the ones very specific to Sheffield, the Meadowhall Shopping Centre, they have their own website which constantly recruiting, and as we approach Christmas, obviously not nice, will come around quite soon, they'll be advertising as well. As well as the websites advertised on there, we would also encourage that you complete your LinkedIn profile, as there'll be many jobs advertised on there as well. So, advice in terms of your part-time job search would be to get organised, first of all. So, for each job that you do apply for, all applications that you make, it is worth keeping a copy of those. Simply because if you find yourself in a position where you are in the cycle of advertising applying for various different roles, you want to be able to have that to hand if an employer does get in touch with you. Note the date you submitted each application and any feedback received. So if you are unsuccessful in any of the applications, ensure that you do request the feedback for that, because obviously with the feedback that will allow you to then onwards make any improvement from the feedback you receive. And again, you can't always guarantee when the employer is going to contact you, so that's why we encourage that you do get organised and keep the information, as if they do contact you unexpectedly, you have that information to hand. And then the final bit on that point is just keep networking, okay? Use LinkedIn, use all the employer events that I've just signposted, and make sure that you're networking and making the contacts, and keep a record of the contacts that you do meet. So your rights, so obviously the working rights are on the screen there. These are subject to, these can sort of be ever changing. So the minimum wage currently sits at £10.18 per hour for 21 to 22 year olds, and then £10.42 for those of you 23 plus. You may be issued a 0 hours contract. Now that will mean that you are actually contractually obliged to 0 hours within the week. However, employers will obviously rotate you in on a kind of ad hoc basis. It just means that you're not always guaranteed the hours within the week. And again, there's the bit on the income tax there. Anything before £12,570, you won't pay any income tax. So, another thing to be aware of is fake job adverts. If any job is advertising a suspectingly large salary, high bonuses, misspelling in job adverts, commission-only jobs, it can sometimes be a bit of a red flag. And when I mentioned earlier, obviously the career service can help you with identifying any red flags within some job adverts. So if you are unsure of any of these things, please make sure you contact the career service. So just as I finish, we run numerous different Student Futures programmes, and the Achieve programme will be something that will definitely benefit you guys as international students. There was applications for the Achieve programme are now open. So this is a programme designed specifically for international students. So we run a series of 6 workshops that will take you through the the UK recruitment process. So we look at finding work in the UK, we look at CVs and cover letters, we look at interview techniques, we look at assessment centres, we also offer mock interviews, okay? So a really good programme for international students, and one that I would encourage that you do get signed up to. And the information on the screen there is actually wrong. So the application deadline for Achieve has just been extended to the following week. So I believe that's the 23rd of October. That's when the application deadlines for Achieve will be. We also offer the Hallam Award, so this is where you can gain recognition for things outside of your course, so part-time work, volunteering. So if you do obtain part-time work, you will be eligible to qualify for the Hallam Award. And obviously that works in levels, so we offer bronze, silver and gold. The more you engage with it, the higher the award you'll receive there. So in terms of next steps for you guys, apply for your national insurance number, create your profile on Handshake, so I saw that you were all scanning that. Work on your CV, and if need be, book an appointment with an advisor. From me personally, because I work on Achieve, my advice is apply for the Achieve programme, because it's a brilliant programme that will help you, definitely benefit your UK job prospects. And then finally, it's just get help. So use the support on offer from the career service. And that's me.
Next to you. The sound travels around the room and then disrupts the speaker and disrupts the ability of your friends to be able to hear us. We are talking about really important things. Nick just now told all of you, about all the amazing things you can do and how university can help you. Now my job is to tell you what you can't do because of your visa restrictions. First restriction is when you can work, how much you can work. During term time, you can only work for the hours per week stated on your visa. Most of you who are here on a degree level course or higher are allowed to work 20 hours a week. If you're doing a foundation program, you can work 10 hours a week. If you're an exchange student on a visitor permit, you can't work. You're not allowed to work. A week is defined Monday to Sunday. So, there will be employers who try to offer you shifts in a way that are fringed, say from a Thursday to a Wednesday, depending on how they allocate shifts. It's your responsibility to make sure that for any period of Monday to Sunday, you do not go over 20 hours. Your employer doesn't bear the consequences of you breaking the law. You do. And the restrictions are on all work cumulative. So any paid or unpaid work that you do counts towards your 20 hours. In any period of Monday to Sunday, you should not be working more than 20 hours during term time. Now, what is vacation then? During vacation, you're allowed to work unlimited hours, but the vacation is not defined by your timetable. It is not defined by your course. It is defined by university's academic calendar. And as per the university's academic calendar, postgraduates only have 2 weeks off at Christmas and 2 weeks off at Easter. there's no summer vacation, whether or not you have lectures on your course or not. That is the university's academic calendar. If you're an undergraduate student, there will be a summer vacation. And then there is work that you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to be self-employed or do any kind of freelance or consultancy work. If you're working, there needs to be an employment contract. You can't work as a professional sports person or entity. And you can't work as a doctor or dentist in training. But if the last 2 points apply, there might be other visas you might be eligible for. If you're getting employment offer to be a professional sports person or a doctor. So come and speak to us and we can make a referral to a solicitor who can help you with those visa options. Please bear in mind, I didn't realize is not a legitimate excuse to break the law. If you've broken the law, you will bear the consequences. We had at least 2 students that we were aware of last year who had to spend months in immigration detention just because they were suspected of working more than 20 hours. And the students claim, and I believe them, that they didn't even work more than 20 hours. One of them worked for an employer for whom other people were working illegally. And students just got caught up in that and spent months in a detention center. You don't want to be caught in that. Choose your employer carefully. Look at what practices your employer has. And the other student was living with some people who were undocumented, and again, he got caught up in that situation. So again, be careful who you choose to live with. We will do questions at the end. And then sometimes employers put pressure on you, saying, oh, I'm really stuck. I really need someone to do this shift. No employer is going to fire you for saying, no, I will not break the law. And if they do that, they might be breaking the law themselves. Do not break the law for your employer. Because again, there are employers who have 7-hour shifts and then say, oh, why don't you do 3 shifts one week and 2 another week? That's not how immigration rules work. 21 weeks, 21 hours is breaking the law. You have to be under 20, even if that means you can only work 14. If you're not happy with their shift structure, find another employer. And then sometimes, there's all sorts of dodgy practices employers do. We had a student 2 years ago who, during Easter break, worked full-time for his employer. And after Easter break, the employer really begged him to say, I don't have enough people, can you do some extra hours for me, please, please, please. He told his employer, okay, just don't pay me for those extra hours, but I'll do it to help you. At the end of that week, the employer refused to pay the student at all for the full-time work he'd done during Easter break and the part-time work he'd done in that additional week. And when the student said that, but I did that work, he said, but yes, you worked for us illegally, we're going to report you. By breaking the law, you make yourself vulnerable. There will be agencies who would say, you know what, work for 20 hours for this care home and work for 20 hours for another. They'll not know. And they'll try to keep it off the records and things. And ultimately what will happen is you will become vulnerable to be exploited by those people. Sadly, some of those people are maybe from the region you come from, in your country. Sadly, some of those people would be people who might know influential people at home who would pressure you into doing this. If you have any of those pressures, if you're unsure how to manage that, come and speak to us. We can help you with understanding your visa conditions and how to deal with that situation. Because it's likely that if someone's asking you to break the law, they are already breaking the law themselves. So here are some useful links to the academic calendar, 3 days, working part-time during study information, and also working after study information. We do online workshops every 2 weeks to answer any questions, a Q&A session, to answer any questions you have about working after study. This would be questions about transition to skilled worker route, questions about transition to graduate route. The most important thing is to be successful on the course that you're doing.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. That's what leads to successful transition to any of those routes. Okay? Thank you for listening.
Thank you so
God bless you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are going to move on to the student perspective. We have two students here who have found part-time work in Sheffield. They are current students. We just think it's interesting for you to get their perspective on how they use the career services and how they manage to find part-time work. So listen carefully to what they have to say. Georgiana, if you'd like to come and introduce yourself and your experience first.
Hi guys, my name is Georgiana. I just graduated from my undergrad, so I'm going to masters, as most of you. To be honest, finding part-time job it seems like it's hard, but it's not. I had multiples of them, and as hard as it can seem to go through the process of interviewing, and maybe you're afraid to talk in English, or you're afraid when you get a job to say no to the employer because you think they're going to fire you. I can tell you that throughout my history of all part-time jobs, no one ever fired me for saying no to a shift. No employee said I'm awful for saying no or not covering a shift. So please don't bring a visa. That's the most important part. You can say no anytime. You're not obligated to do anything out of your no. And I think the easier part to find jobs, for me especially, was to go on Handshake. Especially on Handshake, they have a section where they have on-campus specific jobs, like the one we do now. So if you want to work on campus specifically, you can find them all on Handshake, and they're really fun and really nice to do. You meet a lot of international students, which is really fun. But if you want to have more of a regular job, part-time job, you can go on legitimate sites. Please go on legitimate sites, like Indeed, where you can search specifically on the area or on the specific type of job you want to do. So it might be scary to go for your first job in UK. It might be scary to do your first CV, but I can assure you the first task is really hard, but it's gonna get easier. Please work within your limits and say no if you have to say no. And enjoy your time in Sheffield. Thank you.
And we have another student here as well to finish it on.
Hello everyone, I am Tanisha Bose and I am doing my Masters in Global MBA. I think everybody has already covered most of the things. All I wanted to say is finding a job in Sheffield is not that difficult. All you need to do is just explore all the resources that you've got. Go to Handshake, create a profile, search for the campus jobs. They really add value to your CV. Apart from that, use resources like LinkedIn, like Reed, Total Jobs. There are a lot of hospitality jobs out there. Go to city center, you will have loads and loads of restaurants, pubs. They always recruit people. And coming from a personal experience, I would like to say that the hospitality jobs really pay you well, and they also add a lot of things to your CV. So you can just go out there, look for those kind of jobs that I did, and I landed a job in like a month or so after coming here. So it's not that difficult, and also please stick to the 20 hours. Do not exceed that. Do not fall for cash and hand jobs. That's all you need to do. That's it, and enjoy your life in Sheffield. Thank you.
So in the final 15 minutes, we invite you to ask questions of either our careers advisor, immigration advisor, or more in-depth questions for our students. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. And if you're near the back, we'll get Diava to run up there and get the microphone. And there's one at the back of the yellow.
I'm going to ask a question to you. So my course is 2 years, so it has been 26 years already. Can I do a full-time job during this time?
Okay, that's a really good question. Can you hear me without a mic?
Yes.
Excellent. So the question was, can students who are on the placement route, on the work experience route, can work full-time during, is that what you're asking, during the work experience? Yes, but only in the job that is your official work experience. So when you go through your course induction, you will be informed that what kind of a job qualifies as work experience on your work experience module. When you find that job, the work experience team will need to verify that that is an acceptable job that meets the learning requirements of that module. For that particular job, you can work full-time hours or unlimited hours. In fact, you can do a part-time job in addition to that. However, a lot of placement providers don't like if you do that. But yes, because that job does not qualify as work, that qualifies as study. Does that answer your questions?
I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
So can I switch between two companies during the internship year?
No, you can't. You start your work experience and you complete it with that particular placement provider. If you are unable to, if for some reason you don't want to continue working from there, you would have to take a break and study, and your student visa will be cancelled. So you have to pick your placement provider carefully.
Can you give an example of the job that you mentioned? We don't really understand. We don't really understand the job that you just mentioned.
What I just mentioned.
Yeah. What kind of job is it?
We've just had a question that you've asked, what is the work experience route?
Yeah.
That's only available on certain courses. If it was available on your course, you would have known it already. You had a question earlier, you still want to ask it?
Yeah.
It's not my question, but I just want to ask, why does a postgraduate get to work in the summer break? Why?
Why do postgraduates don't have summer break?
Yeah.
When you start your postgraduate course, you realize how hard you need to work on it. You need to be doing your research during the summer.
I see, so it's not all six.
Any other questions? There's one behind you.
I wanted to ask if we could work additional jobs, freelance jobs that are outside the UK, like online freelance jobs outside the UK.
So working with an employer outside the UK,
Yes.
the hours restriction would still apply because you are in the UK.
Actually, mine is just on IT and not really on I just wanted to know if as student we can have access to school Wi-Fi.
To school Wi-Fi?
And how do we have a staff
After we can request.
Any other questions about finding a part-time job? Yeah, there's one here.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Please be really quiet so I can hear the question.
How do you calculate 20 hours? How many days a week?
How do you calculate
20 hours. How
Down to
many
the
days?
minute. Down to the minute.
Any other questions? Raise your hand. Yeah, there's one behind you, Diana.
converting these funds to pounds, you know, KPI through their monetary system, regard this as something.
Did you get the question? You need to try to use different words.
Okay, I'm saying that some persons have business accounts, you know, they're in operations outside the UK. So, and funds pump into these accounts on a regular basis. So I think at any point, these funds are being converted to the UK account. You know, it's the UK account the person has in the UK. So we need to consider what by the UK